I'm not doing this. I don't even remember what we were just talking about.
Yeah, you do. Do you know?
Yes.
Tell me more about Trump.
What about him? About what?
About how he works.
About how he's a businessman?
About how he's a businessman and the things he
How
said.
how people want to persecute him for taking advantage of the United States in every way because of that's what business owners do. Like, why hire American workers instead of Mexican workers? Because you can get cheaper labor and sell jobs at half the price, just like every roofing company does in the world. Why would you not do that? How does that not make sense? Or the fact that you can get Chinese goods for way cheaper than American goods, so you get Chinese goods instead of American goods because it saves you money as a businessman, or you file for bankruptcy with your businesses because it saves you money on taxes. Why would you not do that? Because you're a smart businessman. He's a freaking billionaire. Of course he's a billionaire because he's smart.
And what did he say about the Mexicans?
He said the CNN MSNBC like to push, oh, all Mexicans are rapists and drug dealers. They're not. He never said that. He said when they send them, they're not sending their best. These illegal immigrants, they're not sending their best. They're sending their rapists. They're sending their drug dealers, which of course are not all of them. But he's saying that the ones that do come here are not the best.
The people that have no business being here.
So he never said that all Mexicans are rapists and drug dealers. That's absolutely. He used to have Mexicans working for him. Like, I'm sure he had good relationships with them. Like, they weren't treated like freaking terrible people. He paid them to work for him and build his freaking towers and everything else. It's just silly. I don't know.
Anything else you want to add?
I mean, I just don't want to get into arguments with people because it's silly. It's so silly. I don't know. I don't know. I only know what I know.
You only know what you know. What about what he said about the insurance, about benefits?
What about
Where-
how he filed for bankruptcy
Yeah,
for his businesses?
go on about that.
I already said that.
No, you
He's
said
a
that to
smart
me.
businessman. He's taking advantage of the way America was run. But now that he's president, he doesn't want to see the same things happen. So even though he took advantage of the system, which every smart businessman would do, like how many like look at people who do subcontract work to people. Home Depot does it, Lowe's does it. Like they're smart business owners. They take advantage of the system because it's the smart thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
But he's trying to put in place a new system where China and Mexico get taxed 35% for sending their products here. So that way we have to purchase American products, which makes America profit. We stop immigrants from coming to the country, so we have to hire American workers. That's why his whole inauguration speech was America first. America first. Nobody else had the balls to do all this. Nobody else had the balls to put these things in place. Now somebody finally has the gonads to put these things together and put this in place. So, yes, China's going to slip off and Mexico's going to slip off and they're going to be upset with us because we're taxing their goods and this and that. But as a society, we're going to become richer. No wonder why we're trillions of dollars in debt. It's unacceptable. And at the very least, he's going to make America rich again. So if he fails and all these bad things happen with, money and people, who are on financial aid and welfare don't get taken care of, which I don't see him hurting the American people because, I mean, he speaks from the heart. Have you seen him speak to people?
Mm-hmm.
Like, he doesn't just read off of a screen like everybody else does. He just talks off of his head.
He doesn't even have cue cards.
He just talks on what he believes, like, and he speaks not like a politician because he's not a politician. Yes, everybody knows his life. They know his background. They know how bad he was, what he's done wrong.
But what is he now? He's
but the
a man
thing
of
is,
God.
people didn't even know Obama was an American citizen before he got elected.
Right, and now he's a man of God. Trump is. He's a man of God. He's been
always,
saved
even
over
since
the
he was
last
a
2
kid,
months.
he was going to church. Yes, he has had a God complex. He has thought of himself as this big individual, but he's a billionaire. He's rich. He's
the big cheese.
He's trying to humble himself. He's trying to.
Yeah.
And I mean, he's come a long way. He's 75 years old, and or 72. I don't even know, and he's still growing.
Right.
So I mean, at least give the guy the benefit of the doubt. But I don't know. It's just. I mean, who are you going to vote for? Are you going to vote for Hillary Clinton, the Clinton Foundation, who's killed millions of people, who were supposed to set up a foundation in Haiti to help all of the victims out there?
And the no-fly zone?
The earthquake victims. Yeah, let's go. Yeah, but then they never do it. They never build the hospitals that they... And people donated money to the foundation, the Clinton Foundation. What did they do with that money?
Mm-hmm.
Or are you gonna donate... It's just... Or who are you going to support? Like, there's... Obama killed how many? Every 30 minutes, Obama dropped a bomb.
I know it.
In office with airstrikes.
Yep.
Drone warfare. He was literally in war the entire
what about the no-fly
term.
zone?
The entire 8 years he was in office, he was bombing people. He was at war. Who serves an 8-year term at war?
Yep.
How could you not solve a war in 8 years and you put your country in debt and you let tons of people immigrate to the country who you don't even know who they are, and they're just bombing and killing American citizens? Like, it's ridiculous.
So talk to me more about the no-fly zone and also how Russia is backed by China and all that, like you did on the phone. Tell me about that.
Okay, so the United States... I remember in Clinton's found because Aleppo is the big talk because Aleppo a lot of civilians are being killed, but we don't want to talk about how America has bombed children's hospitals in Aleppo, or America has dropped bombs on millions of innocent. We've killed tons of innocent people, but Russia is killing innocent people, so therefore we have to react. But when we do it, we don't cover it. We don't talk about it. But Russia can do it, and when Russia does it, the whole world knows about it. We got to cover that. Let's freak out on Russia. They're the enemy now. So we got to create a no-fly zone so we can control the Middle East and control the actions happening in the Middle East. Because Russia's killing innocent people. Blah, blah, blah. Well, we want... the whole reason the whole reason that ISIS even exists is because of the United States. It's ridiculous. Because we went to war over there. We wiped out their government. We killed Saddam, wiped out their government, right? And then we leave the oil, and we leave. We just leave. Obama, woo, let's go, let's leave. So we leave them unorganized, and then what happens? What happens? All the people that we killed in the process of going there and starting this war in Afghanistan over 9/11 to find one freaking person, Osama bin Laden, and overthrow Saddam Hussein, who's this terrible dictator. Well, the terrible dictator was keeping the people in check. ISIS wasn't around when Saddam was freaking in charge because he was a mass dictator who killed the people that tried to step too far. Yeah, he wasn't a great guy, but he kept them in check. We went over there, we got rid of Saddam, so now they're just completely collapsed and fend for themselves. ISIS is like, well, we have all this oil, and now we have all these American weapons that we just gave to them to set up their own government. Here you go, guys. Here's some guns and some tanks. Here, set up your government. We trust you. Go ahead and, you're going to take care of it now. We're good. Let's get out of here. Yeah. And then, boom, ISIS comes, and they overthrow the government. They take over. They kill innocent people. They spread through the whole Middle East. And now they're fighting Syria and Assad. And we're like, we created them. We're the reason they're there. We didn't even take the oil. Like he says, we didn't take the oil. Why did we take the oil? If we would have took the oil, at least ISIS wouldn't have had the fundings. America funds ISIS. America, who's friends with people like Turkey who buys oil from ISIS. Or how about the weapon drops for the Syrian soldiers who we're backing the rebels who are fighting. They're not on Assad's side, but they're not on ISIS side either. They dress up. They go and dress up and say, hey, we're Syrian rebels. And America's like, oh, here you go. Here's some weapons and some tanks And, here, please fight ISIS for us, okay? Thanks. Thank you for your help. And then they just put back on their ISIS uniform and go kill innocent people and run the freaking country. You see all the Toyotas they're driving? You see all the weapons they have? How do they have all that? We freaking fund them.
Yeah, right. And tell me about the how Russia is backed by China and how we need to.
They're friends with China. Russia and China both see what the U.S. is doing. The reason why we created ISIS is because we want to get rid of Assad. Well, why do we want to get rid of Assad? Because Assad controls the way from the Middle East to the United States. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And the United States' whole plan was to create this underground transportation of oil between the Middle East and the U.S. And Assad was like, nope, I'm not having it. I don't want to do that. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So America's like, oh, Assad's this terrible person, and he did chemical warfare on his own people, when it's known that it was done by the Syrian rebels, the people that are helping the United States, when it was done by ISIS that killed these innocent people, but they frame it on Assad that he's this terrible world leader. He might not be the best guy. I don't know much about Assad, but I know that there's a bigger issue at hand, and the bigger issue is ISIS. And Russia even said, why can't the U.S. just work with us? Why can't we just defeat ISIS together? But we're so worried about Assad that we can't go in there and just fight next to the Syrian government because Assad's this terrible person. Well, at least he's trying to eliminate ISIS. At least somebody's trying to do something about it. At least Russia's trying to do something about it. And then Hillary says, oh, I'm going to create a no-fly zone in the Middle East. You're going to create a no-fly zone so that way Russia can't eliminate the people that you're helping to fund to destroy everybody and kill everybody. This terrorist group that you're funding. Well, how do you think they get all their weapons? These weapons that they have, like, where do you think they're coming from? They're not just building this stuff. They're buying it from somewhere. Not only that, we're dropping it off to them. How about the fact that before oil tankers in the Middle East or in Syria were destroyed, Obama let the ISIS people know that they were going to be bombed by Russia before they were bombed. How about that? Like, I can't quote all the sources. This is from lots and lots of just like reading and listening and everything. It's just, there's a lot that goes into it. It's just, you create a no-fly zone, obviously we're going to fight with Russia.
Right.
Russia's trying to do something, and maybe they have their own agenda, whatever, but the reason why Trump and Putin are best friends, that's what they say, they're best friends, and Russia hacked the election even though there's no physical evidence of that. The only thing that they could say is that Russia supported Donald Trump. Well, when Donald Trump says, hey, why aren't we working with Russia to defeat ISIS? Of course Russia's going to support Donald Trump. That's somebody that has their interests at heart. That should be our interest. Why is our interest not to destroy ISIS and get rid of the people that are bad? Why is that not in our interest? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. It is in our interest.
But Hillary wants to stop them because they're killing innocent people.
Yeah,
we're killing innocent people.
Democratic Party.
You think when we're sitting there from our comfortable offices doing drone strikes on people, that's not killing innocent people? These drone strikes are... They have... Oh, we made a mistake. I'm sure you didn't hear about the children's hospital that we bombed in Aleppo. Or the innocent kids and children that we've killed. Or the airstrikes that Obama's approved that have killed tons of innocent people. Like, these people are mass murderers. We're no better. I don't know.
Anything else you'd like to say?
It's just my opinion. I don't want to fight with anybody. So that's it.